Alright. Turn down game audio? Alright. We'll let people,
I took care of the game audio. It should be fine now. Don't mess with it.
That's an interesting thing in a different game. The Superstar Saga remake's really good, by the way. Don't let people tell you otherwise.
Do we have time for a quick donation?
Oh yeah, we do.
We have $20 from Ahmed that says, "Give me the stinky." Thank you, Ahmed, for that. Very generous.
Are we ready to get started?
I believe so.
All right.
Oh, sorry. We just got another $10 donation real quick from Quirrell. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I'm glad to have discovered this exists and can't wait to see the next one. I always love seeing furs come together for great causes. Also, having a $1337 donation amount is great. Donation towards Sonic Twin Harp. Thank you for the $10 donation.
All right. I'm gonna start from 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so this is Paper Jam. This is going to be the first time that I've solo commentated any marathon run that I've done. But this game is pretty straightforward with what we're getting ready to do. The game's going to start off pretty slow, so if we have any donations, just feel free to interrupt me anytime from now until about 6 minutes in. But we're going to start off with Luigi. He's going to start the story. Most people consider this to be the worst Mario and Luigi game in the series, and I have to agree. It's pretty terrible, casually. I've never finished this game casually, so that should tell you just about how much I like it. But as a speedrun, it's on a different level, let me tell you. Oh, we fell down. So that lost about 5 seconds. Not a big deal.
Okay.
Yeah. The game starts off pretty slow. Even in a speedrun, the first 6 minutes is pretty straightforward. But basically, the story revolves around the entire Paper Mario universe is kind of inside of this book right here. And Clumsy Luigi is going to open it up to the Mario and Luigi universe. And so many things could have been done with this, but you know what? They just decided to, all of the Paper Toads, all of the very baseline enemies, and that's what we're going to put into our game. But yeah. You can see that we have a fast forward button, which is was unique to this game until the remakes came out. The remakes obviously kept it, which is a good thing for speedruns. Fast forward button is really useful, and you'll see later on, it's also a little broken as well. And I guess you could also notice, something that I don't really talk about a lot is, I'm playing on the Japanese version. And that is one, because I do not own an English 3DS, so that's the main reason. I was playing on Japanese before it was found out to actually be faster, but this game is, this version is faster, especially for a different category, which is any percent no IBG. We'll talk about IBG later. If you've never seen this run, which I'm assuming most of you have not seen this run, you're probably gonna be in for a treat, right? But yeah. We're just getting through the story right now. Not a big deal. Peach is meeting Paper Peach, all that fun stuff. So, I know this is kind of boring, but guys, just stick around. I promise it gets better. Alright. promise I'm not lying. Alright, so this is the first Paper Toad mission of the run. It's also going to be the last Paper Toad mission of the run. Well, I guess not. I guess we actually do another Paper Toad mission in this. So there was a, we just figured out a new route about 2 months ago, right? That actually does another Paper Toad mission, and it's actually faster, believe it or not. You could skip a Paper Toad mission, but it's actually faster to do it for a very specific reason that I'll talk about later, I guess. But yeah, this is very straightforward. So there's a bit of RNG with this Toad over here. He's kind of like on a walk cycle, and that walk cycle can be very random. Let's see if he's in a good position. That is actually really good. Alright. So the game is getting ready to begin, I promise. I promised you guys at 6 minutes the game would pick up. And hopefully I'm not here to disappoint. That'd be just a shame if I just lied to all of you good people. Yeah, pretty much Bowser's minions kind of taking over the paper world. It's up to us to rescue them. Like I said, I have not played this game casually. I don't know the story that well, so you guys might have to fill me in on what's happening. All right. So, as you're getting ready to find out, walls don't really exist in this game. We can kind of just sneak our way out of here. And this skips some cutscenes. We're also going to turn on easy mode, which is also something new to this game. Oh, it's not. It's actually in Dream Team. I keep forgetting Dream Team exists before this game, because they're so similar. Yeah, easy mode. That's going to be a big thing for these two battles coming up right here. Even though this is considered an RPG, I don't really know why, because these two Goomba battles are really going to be the only battles that we're actually going to do. And just funnily enough, they're actually tutorial battles. So I don't really know what these tutorials are for, to be honest, because we're never really going to use anything that they teach us. Yeah, pretty straightforward fight. And that was one of two battles down. We're almost at the final boss. Alright, so this cutscene pretty much just showing us that the Bowsers have teamed up, ready to take over the world. So this cutscene is actually, as much as people hate on this game is actually very well written, as are all Alpha Dream games. Rest in peace, Alpha Dream. So they did not slack on the comedy in this game either, even though it is a bit bland in every other department. Alright, so here's the final boss of the game. 2 real Goombas. Just fought 2 paper ones. So here we go. So it is RNG where these Goombas stop counterattacking. We want to see 2 more counterattacks. We want to see 1 more. And that's not good, but could be worse. This is going to be a bit slow, but it's alright. Alright, so we're gonna have kind of a route divergence from what the normal route would be. So again, walls don't exist. So I was actually thinking about a different route that we were doing. We're actually gonna have more battles because we're doing a new route that actually gets the dash socks, which makes this run faster and also more entertaining to watch. So normally we would not get the dash socks, or I guess a few months ago rather, we wouldn't get the dash socks. But it's actually found out to be faster to get them. Alright, so this gear allows us some big boy damage because these are you're supposed to get this gear later on in the game. So Mario's pretty powered up right now. And that's going to be useful, and what actually makes this route faster in the first place is allowing us to get that gear. So we're actually going to do this Paper Toad mission. Now, like I said, you could skip this, but it's actually slower to skip it, funnily enough. So there's also another RNG element to these sets of fights as well. We'll see if we get good RNG. If we see a paratrooper in the fight, that is bad RNG. But alright. So that's one fight down. You can see that Mario just kills them in one jump that starts the battle. That's because of the gear that we just put on. Other than that, this is pretty straightforward. We're just here to get the dash socks. And the dash socks make this run so much more entertaining, let me tell you. Without the dash socks, we would be at this walking speed for the entire game. So this guy can be pretty annoying, but normally if you just hit that block, he's normally right there. I said normally twice to emphasize the fact that he's normally there. And a boo-hoo, we got a paratrooper. So I guess you can see why this is slow. Mario does not kill the paratrooper immediately. So this loses about 25 to 30 seconds because the paratrooper will counterattack. Alright, so that was the final fight of the entire run. So hope you guys really like that RPG. Now we're just gonna run through the game to the final boss. You're gonna see that it's a little more interesting than you might think, I promise. This game is really just for show. Once you've seen the run, the novelty kind of wears off, but that's why I like doing these marathons, because so many people have actually not seen this run. Alright, so these toads are going to give us the dash socks, which is what we came in here for in the first place. So this is a totally new route. The last time I did this in a marathon run, we did a route without the dash socks. So you guys are going to see some really interesting stuff. The dash socks make some of the skips so much more flashy and faster as well. Alright, so this toad's kind of a jerk. He's pretty hard to capture on this first go-around. And we got him, so... so this blue toad is way less annoying to grab. But just as I say that, I'll probably miss him. Alright. Alright, so we're on our way. Capture card? Nah, dude. Sometimes it does that. My computer just like randomly dies. If that happens again, just scream at me, and I'll fix it, I promise. Alright, so we're on our way. Dash Socks obviously makes us run a lot faster. The overworld is quite barren in some places, so the Dash Socks really help with that a lot. Alright, so we're going to be doing another clip here. This one is a little bit more involved.
Do we happen to have time for a quick donation?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, so we just got a $5 donation from Ferric that says, name one of the FF4 FE characters, Ferric, thank you. Thank you for the $5 donation, Ferric.
Alright, so we're coming up on Toad Corral Skip. This was considered a pretty hard trick. Oh, if I can actually just get in the crevice, right? So this was considered pretty hard for a while, but it's actually pretty easy. So we're gonna come around here. This is one skip where Paper Mario's not gonna clip out of bounds. So we're gonna actually have to walk. We can't. If we press the run button with the Dash Socks, we'll actually go back inbounds. So we actually have to take this one pretty slow. That's gonna be a theme for the next clip out of bounds as well. But yeah, that skips pretty much everything. That skips the Paper Goomba battle, and it also skips a Paper Toad mission. So pretty convenient that there are just places to clip out of bounds everywhere in this game. So the desert was pretty slow before we were grabbing the Dash Socks. Now it's actually pretty fun to do, because the desert has some neat geometry, I would say, which is it's built for the Dash Socks. Obviously, you're not meant to skip the Dash Socks, and it becomes a lot harder, and it also becomes a lot less interesting to watch without the Dash Socks. So it's easier. It just looks better. It's faster. So the Dash Socks just make this game so much better to run. Alright, so we see our good old friend Nabbit hanging out. So he's gonna give us this this item. I'm not really sure what this item's used for, to be honest, but we're gonna get it. So I'm kind of building up the hype that we are never going to see a boss battle. And I promise, I'm not over-exaggerating when I say that. Stick around, you'll see what I mean. So we come to the desert for one thing in particular, and that's for Trio Hammer, which is an ability that we need later on. We are so close to being able to skip this that it's crazy. We would never even have to visit the desert in the first place. But we're not quite there yet, so we still have to do the desert. So Kamek blocks us off here. It's just a minor inconvenience for us. We do have the tools necessary to get around this, obviously. I'm sure you guys are... you fully understand that walls are merely a suggestion, as the meme goes. That's kind of how this run is characterized, pretty much. so again, Paper Mario is not going to clip out of bounds here, which means that we cannot dash socks, or not. We cannot use dash socks. That's okay. It gives us a little bit more time to see what's going on in the background here with Paper Mario. Hey man, what's good going on? You good? So yeah, we're obviously never meant to be away from Paper Mario like this, so the game doesn't really know what to do. And there we go. So that's Skip's going around. I think you're supposed to go back to the plains or something there, but you know, whatever. So this cutscene is pretty much going to give us what we came here for. So this is the whole reason we came to the desert. We are going to be leaving immediately after getting this. This is Trio Hammer. And we only need it for one specific point in the run. So it's kind of funny that there is no way to skip these, because we should not have to get this, but we do. So. Alright, I'm about to head out as it goes. Alright, so we are done with the desert. We are going to make a dash, literally, for the exit. And we're going to go straight into another glitch that you have not seen before, where walls are literally not going to exist. And we've kind of memed about them. They're sort of not really there. You'll see what I mean when I say that they are literally not there. Alright, so we're gonna head up here. So we're gonna make our way to Gloomy Woods, but we're gonna make a detour really quick. And this detour is super important for actually getting through Gloomy Woods. So we're gonna clip out of bounds with Paper Mario here. We're gonna go into this house up here. Now this house is the key part of the equation. We're gonna save and quit. And some interesting things are about to happen. Oh, so there's Mario and Luigi. And so like I said, walls are actually just a suggestion at this point. This is what is known as walk through walls. And this happens because I actually don't know why that happens in particular. But for some reason, when you save as solo Paper Mario and you enter the thing again, it just gives it to you. That's a really interesting one. You can get walk-through walls in Dream Team as well. I better understand that one. You save inside of a cutscene, and when you save and quit and return, it gives you walk-through walls or walk-through air. So this game is just kind of crazy. So we're going to make our way through Gloomy Woods. Dash Socks obviously makes this a lot more fun to watch. Alright, so I'm going to have to slow down here, because if I enter this cutscene running, we will run straight in, or enter that loading zone, we'll run straight into a cutscene, and we'll soft lock. So we're making our way through Gloomy Woods. Pretty interesting, I would say. So there's a cutscene there that we are avoiding, and to gain collision back, we're gonna go into this Lakitu house and just talk to one. This gives us our collision back, so we can talk to this Wiggler up here. So normally there's a boss fight here, but for whatever reason, since we entered the room in this sort of weird state, we can just walk right by them. It just kind of doesn't exist. So that really doesn't make any sense. Like, the boss fight should trigger, right? But for whatever reason, it just doesn't. Alright, so we are now in Mount Burr. So we want to be in Mount Burr, but from this point in the game, we can't actually get to the location that we want to get to. So we're gonna have to make a detour back through Gloomy Woods. And the detour back through Gloomy Woods is going to be very interesting. We obviously don't have walk-through walls anymore. So we're gonna have to make it back on foot. But getting the trio drill right here is gonna allow for some pretty interesting stuff. And keep in mind about what I said about the fast forward button being useful, because that's going to come into play very shortly. I'm trying to do this new strat where we actually, like, hop out of the ground, and it's just not working. I should just stick to what I know. Alright, so like I said, we have to make a detour back through Gloomy Woods to get to the part of Mount Burr that we actually want to go to. And that's going to be really interesting, because remember how I said I did not want to activate one of these cutscenes, right? So, this cutscene right here. So notice how we are... The fast forward button still stays on the screen. So now we are running with fast forward. So we are actually speedrunners now. So we're gonna make a quick dash and exit Gloomy Woods. Alright, so this clip right here is very convenient, I would say. It gave me a little bit of trouble there, but obviously we made it out. Alright, so this clip is a little finicky. And like I said, drill is going to come into handy. So Luigi and Starlo normally meet here. So Starlo is just going to be talking to a non-existent Luigi. Alright, so we've made our way out of Gloomy Woods. Hope that was interesting. Took me a minute to find the loading zone there. Alright, so now we're gonna get to Gloomy Wood, or Mount Burr. We're gonna get to the part of Mount Burr we want to. I know I said that we're not going to do any more Toad missions. I promise that's still the case. We're not actually going to do this Toad mission. You can also tell that the music's overlapping, so enjoy the sweet jazz while it lasts. Alright, so this is actually one of the hardest clips in the run. So we'll see if I can get it first try. I messed it up somehow. It's all good. There we go. That's more like it. I'm not honestly sure how the first one failed, but kind of whatever. I haven't been splitting anymore in my splits, but the last time I did split, we were not very far behind, so we got time, dude. We got time for days. Oh god, why? Alright, so we have to do the hardest clip in the game twice, so that honestly went pretty well. Can't be too mad about that. So we're working our way up to King Babam, which is really where we want to be. He is the boss fight at castle. So this part's pretty interesting, I'd say. We got fast forward storage again, everyone's favorite. And you can see that there are no enemies. That's just a strange property of that one loading zone. If you enter that loading zone from the back and enter straight into that the Starlo cutscene, for whatever reason, enemies won't spawn. So this is the one reason why we had to get Trio Hammer, to hit these buttons. This is the only reason why we had to go through the desert. Alright, so this clip is a bit finicky. Hopefully it's nice. Everybody say please be nice clip. And it was, so perfect. Alright, so we're getting ready to fight King Babam. Thanks for being nice, Clip. Appreciate you. Dude, the clip knew that we were in the marathon run of my life, dude. Alright, so this is gonna be the first boss fight of the run. And, so now we can talk about why there are two different categories in this game. Any percent and any percent no IBG. We don't really do the boss fights. We're gonna bully the bros a little bit. We're gonna let them die. And we're just gonna save and quit. Oh, and the boss fight's done, so it's very convenient, I would say. So that was instant battle glitch, IBG for short. So if you exit a Toad mission out of bounds, you still have this little icon in the bottom left of your screen that says exit Toad mission. So when you enter a boss fight and you die and click return to title screen, for whatever reason the game continues playing, but you just skip the boss fight. It's super interesting. And you're going to see that that's what we're going to be using for the rest of the run. So there are no more RPG style battles that we have to do. So we're going to get Toad Trail here. That's very important. If the game did not give us Toad Trail here, we would kind of have to go out of our way to get an ability, Trio Airplane. But the game just loves us so much that it gives us Toad Trail there, so that allows us to get Trio Plane in a very convenient way. so we're just making our way up to the final area of the game. We've totally played through this game, right, guys? Yeah. The final track of this game is going to be getting the abilities needed to get through the final area. So, you might be wondering why we don't just exit immediately to get the trio airplane, but we have to do some cleanup work first. By cleanup work, I mean that there are cutscenes attached to both of these loading zones once you enter them, like this. So we have to disable, or we have to just watch these cutscenes, I guess. Kind of disable them. We are technically disabling them because they're not going to be there anymore. But yeah, we have to watch these cutscenes because that would screw up what we're about to do later. Alright, so we're on our way to go get Trio Plane now. We're gonna leave Bowser's Castle. We'll be back, I promise. Don't worry. Have to make a quick detour, which is pretty much the name of the game. Quick detour here, quick detour there, so we can go fight Bowser. Bowser wasn't even ready. Wrong pipe. Alright. So, I know you guys have really liked the sweet jazz that's been playing, but it's time to say goodbye. I know, it's heartbreaking. Alright, so entering this minigame, obviously, the Kamek music must go away. So failing this minigame allows us to save the game, or the game saves automatically. So after the game is saved, we are going to leave again. And for whatever reason, the game is just going to be like, alright, you're at this point in the game where you should have Trio Airplane. So you know what? So take a look at the bottom screen, and you'll see that we have Trio Airplane. Even the game just gives it to us. Everything just works in this game. It's honestly pretty amazing that everything just works. To quote a man, it just works. Alright, so this is also a pretty hard trick, I would say. We're going to be doing Bowser's Castle, Walk Through Walls, and this actually does involve saving in a cutscene. So for whatever reason, the game allows us to save and quit in this cutscene, and that's going to lead to some pretty interesting stuff happening. Hopefully I don't mess it up and look kind of stupid. Alright. So this is part 1. This is a multi-part trick. Alright, so part 1 is getting out of bounds in Bowser's Castle. Part 2, we're going to save in a cutscene yet again, and this is going to allow us to do some crazy interesting stuff. So we're going to have a prompt on screen that's like, return to the mainland, return to Mount Burr, and if we say yes as we are getting ready to enter a loading zone, this allows us to do this. So we have fast forward storage and walk through walls, something that we have not seen yet. Oh no! I think that sucks. So I have to reset. That normally doesn't happen, but whatever. I'll take it slow next time. We get to see it again. I promise we're not going to be over time.
Is there a little bit of time to do a quick plug?
Oh yeah, we got time now.
Just as a reminder, with the Final Fantasy IV Bid Wars, they do close up at the end of this run here, so if you want to see any particular sprite or song choice for the final boss, or if you want to contribute to a name for the characters for that particular run, better get them in quickly because it's not too much longer until the run actually comes up. So, yeah.
It'd be kind of a curse if this run went perfect, so you know what? Mistakes happen. Just happy little accidents. Again, to quote a man. Alright, so this pretty much skips doing both of these puzzles on the sides of the room. And just so conveniently, Trio Grab allows us to change our height values, so we don't even have to worry about having any collision at all. Again, everything just works out. So normally there is a papercraft battle here, but obviously we can skip it, just like everything else in this game. So we're gonna go up here, and this changes the story sequence or something. So now we're gonna make a beeline dash out of Bowser's Castle. Dang, dude, it didn't give me what I wanted.
Let's go.
What? That's terrible. Alright.
Mamma mia.
This should be fine, I think.
Oh no.
We'll see if we're fine. If not, I can always reset and try again. You're not supposed to get into this enemy encounter, but the papered airplane just was not. It wasn't cooperating. Get rid of some of the Paper Marios. So obviously we didn't want that to happen, but you know what, it's all good. Whatever. We still have fast forward storage. It's all good, don't worry guys. Crisis averted. So if that's the only flow up this run, we're doing pretty good. Alright, so now we have to get instant battle glitch again. We have to get into the state where we can get IBG, and like I said before, we have to exit a Toad mission to get in that state. So the fastest Toad mission that we can get into is over here in the Gloomy Woods Toad House, or Lakitu House, rather. And again, it's going to involve going out of bounds. We're going to be doing some crazy stuff. So this is just going to be a simple clip out of bounds, and since we have Trio Grab now, it's going to make clipping out of bounds quite trivial, honestly. So that's clipping out of bounds right there with Trio Grab. Honestly, stupidly easy. Alright, so now we're going to make our way back to Kamek, because we didn't have IBG before, but now that we do, we can actually fight them correctly, and correctly obviously means, dying to advance it. Alright, so the airplane did not cooperate earlier, I'm gonna make it cooperate this time because now we don't have fast forward storage, so it's gonna be quite a bit easier to go back. So a side effect from skipping the papercraft battle is we never see the bridge get destroyed. So the bridge is destroyed, technically. It's still there though, right? So the bridge is just kind of hanging out. It's not there, but it is hanging out. That was too late, really. Interesting. Alright, it cooperated. Kinda screwed it up a little bit, but you know what? We're living. That's what matters. Alright, so we're gonna do the Kamek fight now. Do in quotation marks, obviously. You guys already know what I mean by do a fight. Luckily, the Kameks always do this attack first, so it's like super easy to die. So like I said before, when you're in a Toad mission, you have this little button here that says go back to the Lakitu house. And that's just so convenient because it allows us to go right back to the Lakitu house where we came from and go to this. Now we did already have IBG, but for whatever reason, the game would crash if we did not go and visit the little seaside area. So we have to go to this Toad mission. And it just so happens that literally everywhere you can clip out of bounds, so it's like not even a problem that we have to visit the little oceanside town. Alright. So now we're on our way to the final boss.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so we're getting into this encounter intentionally, and that's because we want to die. Because we want to be at 1 health entering these fights.
Mamma mia.
That was really good RNG, by the way. Those guys can do a multitude of other attacks. Alright, so we are ready for the final set of attacks. So we're pretty much done. We're pretty much in RNG's hands at this point. It's up to RNG whether we get a better time or not. Alright, good. Alright, so since we had IBG, dying in that fight just allows us to immediately go to a black screen. We can still move around and such, but you know. So, we have a small gauntlet of fights before the final fight. And obviously we're just going to want to die as fast as possible. So these enemies can do a number of different things. And we're trying to get the fastest patterns.
Mamma mia. Oh no. Mamma mia.
So is there a chance a quick break or something coming up?
Oh yeah, you've got time. We're just dying to win, basically.
Oh.
Let's go.
Something I forgot to add before with the bid war incentives. So at the moment we have for the Twin Harp song we have the Sonic series currently leading with $30 to $5 for the Zelda series Twin Harp. For the final boss sprite we have the Deltarune sprite leading by $161 to $55 for the Sonic series sprite. And for the name bid wars, in first place we have Trixie with $88.
Go time.
Second is Foo with $20. Third is Wimpler with 15. Sorry, those are the options rather. Option number 4 is Ferric with $5, and option number 5 is Sparky with $6. So, just as a reminder that the incentives will finish at the end of this run. So, if you've got any preferences to what you want to see in the run coming up, you've got a little bit of time left to get those donations in before it closes up, and that'll pass it back to the runner.
All right, so we've had some pretty good RNG so far. I'd say this is the first instance where we have not gotten perfect RNG on these fights. These guys can be kind of hex, so.
Oh no!
Of course, now he gives us the attack that we wanted. So yeah, this is probably the slowest pattern that we could have gotten for these guys. It's all good though.
Sorry, I actually missed 2 donations before while I was doing that plug. So we have a $6 donation. Sparks for waking up and seeing more video games happening. Can we name an FF4 character Sparky? And $5 from JD. That says for the FF4 naming incentive, make one of them that guy. Thank you both for your donations.
Alright, so the Koopaling battles, they are set. There's no RNG in these whatsoever. They always do the same attack. So I know you guys have donated so graciously for a glitch exhibition. I didn't really have a lot of glitches to show off, but I do have 2 very specific ones that we're gonna do. We're gonna watch the credits all the way through. The credits are not that long, and the credits theme is a banger anyway, because something happens. Since we use IBG to finish the game pretty much, something interesting happens after the credits, which is normally not supposed to happen. So we're gonna show that off, and I have another glitch that I want to show off on a separate file. Oh no, he stole our cards, dude. The cards that we totally got, right? You guys remember getting those? Alright, so we can just go ahead and bring up the debate of who is the best Koopaling. It's obviously Lemmy.
Mamma mia!
Alright, so we are on our way to the final boss in the Void of Navy Blue.
Oh yeah!
So one side effect of doing IBG is everything turns to navy blue for some reason. I'm not sure if that was just like the base color for backgrounds that don't exist.
Let's go!
Yeah, we're on our way. So I hope you guys pretty much know how the final fight is going to go down, I assume. Very dramatic for what is about to happen. So this is the final boss, and just as you might expect, IBG does work on this fight as well. So, even though there is a second phase to this fight, IBG just skips that, you know? So that's pretty much Paper Jam. The most ridiculous Mario and Luigi run out there. Some people say Superstar Saga is broken. Those are just people that have never seen a Paper Jam run.
Was that time, Snowy?
Oh no, time's coming up in a bit.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, time ends right before credits. I can try and give a countdown about 5 before.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've saved the day. All of those toads that we totally saved in the toad missions. Totally didn't skip any of that. Totally a normal, very solid game. No skips, no glitches. Everything as intended. And time. I didn't give a countdown, I'm bad.
That's fine. GG on the run.
Alright, so like I said, we do have a glitch exhibition. And something interesting happens after the credits because of IBG. So I say we could sit and watch this. So if you have any donations, this would be a good time while we're chilling out to this music.
We do actually have a donation. We have $8 from Trixie Fox that says, FF4FE naming incentive. Name one of the characters Hotbot. Thank you, Trixie, for that generous donation. We do still have a little bit of time left before the name incentive and the bid wars for the Final Fantasy run end. So any last minute donations, get them in now.
So I'm a big fan of the credits music in this game. Not so much because of this part, but it gets better, right? When it switches to the desert theme, dude, it's so good. So Bowser's Inside Story kind of started the trend where the credits themes take music from the whole game and kind of remix it into one theme. So I think this one does a really good job. All right, so here it is, the best drop. If only there was a way to speed this up. You guys, you're not ready for this, I promise. The glitch exhibition shouldn't take longer than 5 minutes. I don't know how tight of a schedule we're on, but I'll promise I'll be out of your hair soon enough.
I mean, everybody donated for it, so you kind of have to do it either way.
We've got it. So this just goes through all the papercraft battles that we have skipped. We do 0 papercraft battles. In IBG, you actually do a papercraft battle. I guess that this is a time where we can talk about IBG. IBG is basically the category where you don't use instant battle glitch. You actually do fight the bosses intentionally, in quotation marks. This game's really stupid. So even though you are forced to do papercraft battles, if you die 5 times in a papercraft battle, the game gives you the option to skip them. So the only papercraft battle that we do in IBG, you just die 5 times to skip it. So you don't even have to do any papercraft battles in this game, even without the use of glitches. Like, it's intentionally available for you to skip. That goes with a lot of the story elements in this game. The Hammer Bros in the Doop Doop Dunes Underground, you can actually skip that as well, just from dying 5 times. A lot of things are like that in this game, and they've actually carried over into the Bowser's Inside Story remake. I didn't know that, but a lot of stuff in the Bowser's Inside Story remake, if you just fail 5 times, you can actually skip it. Alright, so after we get through the Bowser's Castle portion of the credits, the game, it's getting ready to end. And we can get to some pretty interesting stuff, I would say. And okay, Intelligent Systems, shout outs to them. They make good Paper Mario games. They helped with this game. Hopefully they're working on another one. Alright, so the credits are coming to an end right now. So normally the game would freeze frame, and that'd be the end of the game, right? But for whatever reason, since we skipped the final fight, the game continues to play. So we kind of have this kind of after credits little sequence. So coming up right here. All right, so we're getting back into the game. So for whatever reason, it puts us above this toad house, and we can actually just fall down. So the game is technically over, but it's not really over. So something really interesting happens when we go back to the area where the final bosses are located. Now you can tell that the game does count this as completed, even though this cutscene is still here. You can tell that nothing activates, right? We can walk right through here. So place your bets on what's gonna happen when we try and enter the area of the final boss. The game just crashes. So normally that's a fun thing to end on, but this game does have something even better to end on, I would say. So this is Checkpoint. This allows you to save your 3DS games. It's very handy. So we're gonna go to glitch number 1. Very ominous. Alright, so I had to go out of my way to set up this file, because normally we would not have trio grab here. Alright. So we come over here and we activate this cutscene. And this cutscene, I know we didn't really show it off how broken it was in the speedrun, but this cutscene has some very interesting properties because it makes the game just assumes that you're solo Luigi at this point. So we can carry that solo Luigi state with everyone. So if we enter this loading zone right here, Luigi is going to do some magic for us. So he's actually T-posing Mario. Did you guys know that? It's pretty cool, right? I didn't know that either. So yeah, the game actually crashed there. Believe it or not. I'm gonna do it again, because there's something interesting that you can do as well. So that's a hard crash. Like the game, the crash handler doesn't even work. That comes with 3DS Homebrew. So yeah, I think I have time to do it one more time and show a different result that you can do, because I think it's pretty fitting for this marathon, I would say, what you can do with this.
Is there a time for a quick donation?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we just got a $100 donation from Xylos that says, "Shout out to Wag. Someone's got to be named Ab."
Nice.
Thank you for the very generous donation, Xylos. So
So clipping into this is pretty finicky, I would say. Come on. We got it so easy the first time. Alright. So we're gonna do this again, but with a different result. No, dude. Interesting. That's interesting. I've never seen that happen before. Thought we crashed, but we didn't. We saved it. Alright, so we're gonna do it again. Let me make sure that this worked. Right, it did. Perfect. Oh no. Oh no. No. Dude, whatever. Whatever. Try again. Sure. Let's see if this works. Right. I didn't know these guys had so much HP. Pretty interesting. Alright, hopefully that we still have the Luigi state. I think we should. I don't think that should take it away. Yeah, alright, perfect. Alright, so you can actually carry this between rooms. I know I've kind of butchered this a little bit, but it's alright, because it's worth it, I promise, guys. Alright, so this is the room where we want to be. Alright, are you guys ready? Alright, you can actually play as Goomba Luigi. I think this is the best thing to add on, because it's so interesting that you can actually make Luigi transform into a Goomba. You can run around with the Goomba as well. And, in the spirit of Paper Jam, if you let go in this room, the game crashes. So that was Mario and Luigi Paper Jam. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for donating for the Glitch exhibition. I know I probably stayed around a little longer than I should have, but hopefully you guys liked it. And yeah, keep donating. Hope you guys look forward to the next run. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for having me.